Hi, welcome to Writings and Lessons. I'm Brenda. The goal of this channel is for anybody who wants to learn piano to have the opportunity to learn. We're going to play some nursery rhymes, which are both public domain, Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Both are in 4/4 time, and I wrote the arrangements to give you a lot of practice with split bars, which is lesson 2, and some bars that look like fractions, the bass line, where your right hand is playing a chord, your left hand is playing a different note. We're gonna start with Mary Had a Little Lamb. It is a little bit easier than Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We're gonna talk through the chart and then we'll play it, then we'll go back. Same with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We'll talk through the chart and then we'll play through it. I'm excited about this lesson and about the review. Let's get started. Let's go through the chart for Mary Had a Little Lamb before we start to play it. So it's in 4/4 time, which means that every measure or bar gets 4 beats. This lesson is designed to review our past lessons. In lesson 2, we talked about split bars, and we talked about the bass line, which is this bar that looks like a fraction. So every measure or bar has 4 beats. So the first bar is the one gets all 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second bar, the line tells you that it's split. And since this is in 4/4 time and 4 can be split evenly, it's one chord gets 2 beats and the other chord gets 2 beats. That's why there aren't tick marks like we had in lesson 2 that showed you which chords get how many beats. So the one gets the first 2 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 gets the first 2 beats, 6 minor gets beats 3 and 4. Same thing here, 2 minor, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this bar, the one chord gets the first 2 beats. The 4 chord is played with your right hand. The number on top is always your right hand chord. The number on the bottom, the 5, is the bass note. So if you're a bass player, you would play 1 for the first 2 beats and 5 for the second 2. As a keyboard player, you're going to play the 4 chord with your right hand and the 5 note with your left. 4/5 is very common, and it just leads your ears to the 1 chord, which is next on the second line. So the second line starts with a 1 chord again, and there's a pattern of some of the same chords in the first 3 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have another split bar of 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last chord is 1 for all 4 beats. Let's work through this song. So the first bar is a 1 chord. So 1 chord with the right hand, as we learned in previous lessons. And I've got my left hand hovering over all the notes I'm gonna need, pinky playing the 1. That way I can just grab the 6 or whatever I need with my other fingers without moving my hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now I'm moving to the 6th chord for the 3, 4. 2 minor for the first 2 beats of this measure. 1, 2, going to the 5 chord, 3, 4. And then this chord is the 1, 1, 2. The 4 chord is played here. The 5 is the bass note with your left hand, or what the bass guitar player would play. So let's go back through this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 to the 6th chord, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now 4/5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 6th chord, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, have the metronome, which is a free app on my phone, set at 4/4, and the tempo is 72. 1, 2, 3, start. There are several resources available if you are interested. First, if you're interested in taking lessons, we can do that through Zoom. If you want weekly, bi-weekly, or if you just want a one-time lesson to make sure you're on track, or if you feel like you're stuck in some area, we can schedule that. The best way to contact me to request lessons is through my website at writingsandlessons.com in the contact tab. There's a place where you can send me an email and a message and we can set up lessons. I also have a handbook for sale for $10. It is not a textbook, it's just a reference book that describes the number system, and then there's attachments at the end that spell out scales and different types of chords. So that is also available in the store tab of my website at writingsandlessons.com. Let's talk through this chart. It looks intimidating, but if you've watched all the previous lessons, you can play this. There's nothing on this chart that we haven't talked about. First of all, as a review, it's in 4/4 time. So that means that every bar or measure gets 4 counts. As a review from lesson 2, when there's a line, that means it's 1 bar with 4 counts, but the 4 counts are divided by different chords. So this first bar is a 1 chord. And then the second half of the bar, you move your left hand, the bass goes to the 3 note. So it's played like this from the beginning of the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the bass guitar would play the 3. Basically, you're moving musically to this 4 chord. That 3 leads your ears to the 4 chord. So the second bar is a 4 chord for the first 2 beats and a 1 for the last 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third bar is a 2 minor, which looks just like this. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 chord gets 2 beats. 1, 2, back to the 1. This bar is 1 for the first 2 beats, and for the 3 and 4 count of the bar, so it's split in half, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're playing a 5 chord with your right hand and a 7 with your left. You can play it here or you can play it down here. It's the same note, it's just it's a musical choice on your part, whichever you like best. But what's happening is it's leading you to the next bar. This is very, very common in music. So 1, 2, 5/7, 3, 4. Now we're going to 6 minor. 1, 2 to the 5, 3, 4. Repeat again those 2 bars that we just did. 1, 2, 5/7, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're repeating the first line. 1, 2, 1/3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 minor, and then 1. The last bar is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's patterns in most songs where you'll see a repetitive pattern in the chords. So this line is repeated in this last line. In this second line, these two bars are repeated again right here. So you'll notice patterns in a lot of songs, regardless of the style. I have the metronome set at 4/4 and at the tempo is 66. 1, 2, 3, start. Now you have 2 more songs to add to your charts. I wanted this lesson to be a review because I know that it can seem overwhelming when you're learning, and we've covered a lot of material. So today was a review of former lessons. You have 2 new songs with lots of split bars, and you also have several opportunities to play the bass line where you're playing a chord with your right hand and a different note with your left. So remember to keep practicing. Don't get frustrated. You're building a skill and it takes time. And all of these concepts build on top of each other. Don't let charts intimidate you. I know it looks like math, and if you didn't enjoy fractions, don't look at it and think, I can't do that. It's not fractions. It's not math. It's a way of documenting the chords that you're playing. If you want to help promote this channel, some things that you can do is subscribe, like each of the videos, leave a comment, share the channel with anybody that you think might want to take lessons. Also, if you click the arrow to the right of this video at the bottom, there is you have access to print out a lesson summary and copies of the chart. So I hope you have fun practicing, and I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.